Hello everybody, and welcome back to the King Fox channel. My name is Matt Conager, and I'm building that Kit Fox Series 7 STI. This is going to be, again, another continuation for the ribs that are going in the vertical stabilizer and the rudder. So today I'm going to be fabricating some longitudinal rib stiffeners that are going to go on top of some of the ribs that aren't supported well by structural members and need a little bit beefing up. So sit back, relax, and let's get into this video. Rib installation has been completed, so we'll sign that off. Now I've got the ribs in the vertical stabilizer and the elevator.
Damn it, Jim, what the hell's the matter with you?
I'm sorry, the rudder. So now I'm going to put the I'm going to cut the cross member braces out of this material here. And I'll get those fixed on. Get this plunger ready to go. Another one ready for reuse. Alright, so I'm going to fabricate some longitudinal ribs. Looks like number 2, number 3, number 5, and number 8. 6 gets some also, but they don't run the long way, they run perpendicular. So we'll be cutting some of those. And then on the rudder, that'll get 1, 2, 3. I think this rib here, it says bond to the tube, which actually I did. So that one's good. So yeah, E, G, H. J is bonded to the tube. So looks like I'll be doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those on the rudder. All right, I got the 3 longitudinal stiffeners cut for the vertical stabilizer. And I got the 10 lateral rib stiffeners. There's 4 that go on number 6 and 3 that go on number 8. Although 4 plus 3 isn't 10. So I did see some down on the bottom piece on one of these other pages. This is a different tail, though. I think there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So just to be sure, this is looking a little bit different, but I think what I'll do is I can put 3 more down at the bottom here. So it's showing 3 here on this page, which is not the page for cutting the stiffeners. So they should show up here on this page, but they don't. So I'll cut these, and I won't bond them in yet until I verify that there's nothing going to go in there or something later on, because it does say 10 here, but the picture shows something different. And since I'm doing some bonding, I'm going to go ahead and cut these 3, 4, 5 stiffeners longitudinal that go on the rudder as well. Get her all done at the same time. I think I sent an email to Brandon before I left asking about these stringer stiffeners back here, because there's 3 of them. 1 here, 1 over here, and here. They're possibly not necessary because the piece is actually bonded to the fuselage the entire length of it. I'm going to put them in anyway because I've already cut them. They're there, and I don't want any flexing going on. I'm not sure as far as fabric connection, maybe. I don't think the fabric is going to touch this wood over here, but I do know that it's definitely going to touch this rib. And back here, I think back here I definitely have to put a few more on, because he said as you shrink this fabric on here, it'll bow this rib up. another epoxy mix-up to get the longitudinal stiffeners and the lateral rib stiffeners on the vertical stabilizer and the rudder. So, always exciting to mix up some epoxy.
Hell yeah!
So we'll go with a 5 and 5 mix, since I got 5 there. I don't want to overdo it. 8. 10. It says 9. That doesn't look equal to me, so we'll, yeah, 9. Gonna have to get a little more accurate scale, I think. This is just one I use in the house for cooking when I'm not building an airplane. There's 10, it says. So I could have one dedicated to the King Fox. Alright, I'm going to mix this up, and then I'm going to throw some cotton flocks in there, and we'll get it into our small syringe. You guys saw me clean out that big syringe that I used last night. Pretty simple. Just get the drill bit ready and drill a little hole in there. I've talked about it probably ad nauseum, but in case this is your first video and you don't know what I'm talking about, if you put epoxy in one of these syringes, some people try to clean them out using chemicals, and I found if you just let the thing sit overnight, you can pull the plunger out in the morning and then lightly bend the tip and the syringe itself, and the epoxy will just break free from the syringe, and then you can drill a hole in the end of the epoxy plug that's in there, because otherwise it usually won't come out until you break that air seal on it. Put a sheetrock screw in it and pull it right out with a pair of pliers. Then you can reuse your syringe if you're into that. If not, throw it away. Grab you another one. Okay, that's mixed. Top these off, close them up. Grab a little cotton flocks, head that right in there. And incorporate it. Once we get these stiffeners put on, the next step will be putting on some varnish, I think, or some epoxy resin. I think that's what it's called, from the Polytac group back there. And then I'll be putting the fairings on the leading edge of the rudder and the trailing edge of the vertical stabilizer. And that should just about wrap up the tail. I did think about installing the light, but that might be something that we want to do during covering or just before covering, I'm not sure. Try to read ahead on that and see if I can figure that out. I'm not going to be epoxying these three lateral ribs down at the bottom, just because of that discrepancy I have on that page. I did get an email out to Brandon, and we'll see what he says. Pretty sure they probably go in, but I'd hate to epoxy them in and then have to break them out, since they don't come apart well after you have epoxy on them. So we'll get these epoxied in. So let's go around to the other side. Again, there's the vertical stabilizer and the rudder with clamps still on. I can take all those off.